Hey there, fans of Brotherly Love Wrestling. It is I, Vic Delicious.
Philly's own, the Mecca here.
It is the real McCoy, J.D.X. Justin D. Xavier. And
it's your man, CD, the Fallen Angel, Christopher Daniels.
Hello, boys and girls. This is your old friend RJ City.
Hey there, Brotherly Love Wrestling. Bill Carr here.
Hey everyone, this is two-time guest Wheeler Yuta.
Two bozos from Philadelphia flapping their gums about pro wrestling this, pro wrestling that.
Which is not that unique in the grand scheme of things yet.
You are in for a treat because you're tuned in to Brotherly Love Wrestling.
Philadelphia, are you ready?
No! They said, are you ready?
This is Brotherly Love Wrestling Podcast, your first stop for everything professional wrestling. So sit back and enjoy wrestling talk at its finest with your hosts, Larry Hall and Joe Corrado.
Welcome everybody to Brotherly Love Wrestling, and on the show today, we're going to break down.
We have nobody.
No, we have nobody, but we have a couple pay-per-views coming up in the next week or two. So I believe we could start there. What's that?
I said you don't say.
No, I don't say. Actually, I do say, but
you do say.
Let's start with the one that is closer, obviously. This weekend, we have Full Gear for AEW.
Side note.
Yeah.
Just do say. Is that how you say dropping the deuce in French?
Why? Why would you ask me that? Like, I'm going to be like, oh, yes, or no, it's not. Why would you ask me that?
Like, for sure.
No filter whatsoever. Like, you know what? I'm going to ask him this. Like, what was the response you were expecting from me?
I don't know, but it brought me joy. Whatever. I think if you would have tried to answer it, like thought about it, I would have laughed, and you didn't, and I still laughed. Proceed.
I'm kind of underwhelmed a little bit by this pay-per-view coming up.
You don't say.
I'm not going back into that again.
Can you humor me?
There's a couple matches on this card that I'm interested in just because the storyline has got me invested.
Is it like a couple out of 47 matches?
So as of right now, there's only 9 matches. Which is light for AEW. AEW, you're looking at like 14 matches, including pre-show. So for them,
it's not over yet. There's probably going to be one added tonight.
Yes, yeah.
And then one added there's gonna be 11 fucking matches, dude. That's like their average, 11 matches.
Yeah.
I guess good for them to do it on a Saturday, but that's way too much. What are you looking forward to there, Larry?
Swerve and Hangman. More for Swerve than Hangman. I've been invested in Swerve ever since Keith Lee and him.
You haven't been invested in Hangman since the incarnation of AEW.
No, I haven't. I wasn't a big Hangman fan when he was in New Japan or Ring of Honor either. But Swerve is great. He's great on the mic. He's great in the ring. Just everything about Swerve is great. So excuse me. I just think he's such a great storyteller in the ring and out, and he has brought something out of Hangman that I haven't seen in I don't know if I've ever seen it in Hangman. Honestly, it's that vicious. He visited Hangman's house, and that was the biggest thing. Like, he looked over his baby's crib, and so it's like kind of a callback to what WWE used to do. You know what I mean? With the Hunter attack going into was it Orton's house, right? I think Hunter and Orton. But yeah, so like, and that's where a feud gets personal. Like, you know what I mean? You go after the house. So I think that kind of ramped it up for me as far as interest goes. And a Texas death match anything could happen. I mean, it's just going to be
They love their
insanity.
gimmicks.
Oh yeah,
they love their violent gimmicks.
yeah, absolutely. But with
It's
this
almost like
one, it's worth it.
They almost want to be like a hardcore wrestling show / deathmatch show. Like they borderline want to be that sometimes. I feel like they just can't like fully pull. Like there's a lot of blood in AEW.
Well, I mean, you got to remember, Tony Khan was a giant ECW fan growing up. So there's going to always
also a giant pool now.
I understand that, but there's always going to be that element. He's always probably going to want some kind of touches of an ECW feel, a hardcore feel, and it's obvious when you watch AEW or you watch a John Moxley match, and that's more a Moxley thing as well. Like it's a part of it. I don't mind it every now and then though. But I think they tend to overuse it a little bit. They go to, you know what I mean, go to it a little too often. But when done right, like I've seen them do matches that are entertaining and that actually tell a story, which a lot of death matches and stuff can be really entertaining as long as they're still telling a story and are not violence just for the sake of violence. So
I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but you mentioned that name and it sent me into a bad place.
I know.
I started hearing voices in my head. I turned into a viper.
I'll try to keep myself from saying it to not to mess you up a little bit. We got MJF having 2 matches on this weekend because he has the tag match. Yeah, has the tag match for the tag titles against the Guns, and right now his partner he doesn't want to ask Samoa Joe. As we record, Dynamite is happening, so we might find out. And before the show even
Swerve Strickland is on our TV.
Okay.
With Prince Nana.
So by the time this goes out, he might already have a partner for this weekend. So, but as of right now, MJF does not have a partner against the Guns for the pre-show for the ROH tag team titles. And then you have him versus Jay White. And if he gets his title back, finally gets the title back in his possession, and if he can defend it. But I think there's so much going on with MJF. This is just the tip of the iceberg.
Do we get to see the Devil this Saturday, or are they building it still?
Man, I don't know. I part of me kind of wants to keep it building. Like, but really? Can you hold off all the way to at least Revolution, which I believe is in January, right? That's when Sting has his retirement matches in January. I don't know, man. I feel like pulling the trigger now for a fan base like AEW, maybe it's time. Maybe because I don't know if they have the attention span. You know what I mean? To wait a whole another 2 months or month and a half.
Here, I will say this. I think that they do. I think no matter what, I think you can hold the Devil off for 4 months.
Really?
Yeah, I think that fan base is going to be intrigued no matter how long. And I think if the storyline's with MJF, it could easily last that long and still be interesting.
Yeah, especially with the amount of people that are already after him.
Now with anybody else, I don't think it works for that long. I think it's already time to pull the trigger. But with MJF, I think circumstances are different. I think he's one of the rare ones of that company to be like, all right, we're going to give you a storyline. You're going to work 6 storylines, and you're going to basically be the guy. You want to be the guy? You're going to be the guy, and you're going to be in front of the camera more than anybody. You're going to be the focal point of the company. And so far, I think he's doing great. It actually makes – I don't want to use a negative term for a positive thing that I'm trying to say. I don't want to say bearable. You know what I'm saying? Like,
In what context?
Here, it actually elevates substantially the lesser parts of the show because the main parts of the show actually help elevate the rest. Now there's still some stuff that I don't really care about.
At least for you personally.
Yeah, but at least it makes it worth watching. Seeing MJF in the position that he's in, it makes it worth watching. I'm not going to say watching all the time, but I will say that it is at least worth it because there's intrigue and he's good at what he does.
I don't know if you've seen the coat that he's wearing recently, but it's like a blue Burberry coat. And it says 2024 on it, rubbing in the fact that that's when his contract is up, and that's when the bidding war of 2024 will begin. I cannot see him leaving AEW. I think
so either.
They would be destroyed if they lose MJF. I really, I think he's the ultimate AEW guy.
All right, so how good is he, and what is his potential in WWE?
How good is he, and what is his ceiling? Like, how high can he go?
Is he world champion material in the bigger company, or is he a mid card guy?
See, in WWE, the mindset's so different. I don't know if I think he can be a world champion, absolutely. Yeah. But
here's the thing.
What they look at, I don't think, I look at him in the same vein I look at Bryan Danielson, who's phenomenal. He's great. But in the WWE, they feel and come off smaller. Not that they are. We know the kind of talent they are, but they come off smaller. And I'm just envisioning him walking down the ramp at SmackDown, or walking down the ramp on Raw, or walking down the ramp at WrestleMania. And I feel like he would look smaller. Not that he is, because he's a big dude. He's jacked. He's in great shape. But I just think they would think the same thing. I think the sky is the limit for MJF. He is so fucking good. But I feel
with the Triple H?
Yeah, because I feel, even though we've seen his mindset on wrestling, I still think there's a little old school and a little Vince in Triple H. And I still think that he would look at MJF and be like, yeah, the guy's in a good shape, but
hold on, can I tell you what I'm picturing right now?
Huh?
A miniature Vince popping out of Triple H's suit pocket. Hey, tell him you're fired. Hey, Paul, tell him you're fired. It was a little Vince McMahon.
A little Vince in Triple H. I get it. There's something wrong with you. There's literally something wrong with you.
Okay, don't forget this. The one with little Vince.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, I hope I'm completely wrong. I hope he goes to WWE and he does flourish.
I will play devil's advocate again to everybody's surprise, on the side of good. Okay. Not evil like you are.
Evil. So, I'm not evil. I gave him his flowers. I said how great he is. I'm just saying what WWE is going to do.
All right. So the way that MJF works is, to your point of Triple H's thinking, is very old school.
True.
And I'm not saying he comes to WWE, even if he were to come to the WWE, I don't think he even sniffs that face role anytime soon. Because if he's going to skyrocket, he's going to do it as a heel. because he's perfect for. He's a perfect heel in any company ever to exist, And the way that he wins, it's a very old school mentality. He cheats. When he's a heel, he doesn't win shit fair. Same way he makes his way to the top in WWE. Because people will hate him, especially those crowds. Because he doesn't have to work as he doesn't have to curse or anything like that because he won't be allowed to. So, I mean, he could still work his way to the top, being a top heel. And even more, and I'm sure this person that I'm going to mention would absolutely love this. If it was MJF, Cody in WWE, and Cody finally wins the belt off him because he couldn't win the belt off him in all of AEW. He couldn't challenge for that title anymore. Or imagine if Cody wins the title and MJF takes it off him again and they carry a feud over cross company. See, this is my fantasy booking side. Like it should happen, but it's never going to.
It's not bad. I mean, just Cody finally winning that title and Max coming out, you know what I mean, and beating him for it and then taking that title and holding it over his head is great. You know what I mean? And you have that story already built in. That's great, but I don't agree with you. I don't see it happening. I see MJF being with AEW for a long time.
How pissed off would AEW fans be? Yeah, but if you had the right mentality, wouldn't you want to change over the channel and be like, God damn it, I kind of want to watch this now?
You would have to. Absolutely.
If you're a true wrestling fan, you're like, man.
Yeah, you're right. If that's the key word. If you're a wrestling fan, you have no choice but to watch MJF on WWE. You have how can you not?
It would be the perfect continuation.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It's the same thing with any fan of Jade Cargill. You know what I mean? You'd be stupid not to want to see her on WWE TV or not want to watch her when she appears. Regardless if she's not on AEW anymore or not, she is a star, and she's going to be a star once she gets fine-tuned by NXT and down at that performance center. She's amazing, and I can't wait to see her progress too, because I think she could be phenomenal.
I mean, for getting more acquainted with the ring and getting better in the ring, I hope she stays down there for a little bit of time. But I think her being a star is going to stop her from spending a lot of time at NXT. I feel like
I'm fine with that as long as she can. I mean, as long as she's as intelligent as she is talented, she'll be able to pick it up quick. You know what I mean? And
well, she's definitely a fucking athlete.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. As long as she has the intellect to pick things up and immediately apply them and get that knowledge of all the little things that WWE does and the camera angles and everything, she'll be great. You know what I mean? She's an intelligent woman. She has a brand of her own. I think she'll be fine. It's just, you know what I mean? When is that time coming? When will we see her?
I feel like she's the type to appear after a title win. After a main title win.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the NXT Women's Champion right now? Is it still Becky?
No, Becky lost to oh man, now I'm gonna blank on her name.
Wasn't Stratton the champion at one point?
Yeah, but Becky beat her for the title and then held the title. And then she got beat at Halloween Havoc night 1, night 2. The hell is her name? Lyra Valkyrie. Lyra Valkyrie. Or Valkyra. That's what it is, Valkyra.
Okay.
It's sort of like Valkyrie. It looks like Valkyrie at first. But it's Valkyra. Lyra Valkyra is the new NXT Women's Champion.
Okay, so I don't even know who that is.
Yeah.
Any good?
She was good as hell in the match against Becky, I'll tell you that. It was one of the first times I've seen her perform, and I thought she did a great job. I think Becky made her look really good as well. But I'm fairly new to her. Obviously, I barely know her name. So I'm not faking that I'm a big fan of her. Like, I barely know her anyway, but I know she looked great. You know what I mean? She looked like she belonged in the ring with Becky. And that's saying something. Like some girls don't. But I mean, I don't think to your point, I don't think Jade is going to come in and go after the NXT women's title. I don't think it's going to happen. I think she's going to Raw or SmackDown.
You don't even think she's coming to NXT?
I don't.
No, I think she's in NXT for a minute.
You think? I don't.
I think she's going to feud for. I think she's going to do a McIntyre or a Bobby Roode. Maybe. Well, but in a more like McIntyre though. Come in for a stint and go to the main roster. Win the title.
I don't think so. I think she's going right up.
All right, we shall see that.
We shall. All right, so another match I do want to get your opinion on because, well, how could I not?
Triple threat or six-man tag.
Six-man tag. Sting, Darby Allin, Adam Copeland versus Christian Luchasaurus and Nick Wayne. Do we see a Adam Copeland heel turn? Or do they play it straight up, baby faces win? Or do the heels go over and you keep building something for Sting to lead to Revolution?
I don't know, but that Nick Wayne name makes me think that he's in there to take the pin.
Oh, and Ric Flair in the corner, by the way, of Sting, Darby, and Adam Copeland.
So if anything, I could see Flair turning on Sting.
Do you think that's what it's going to be? Do you think it's going to be Sting and Flair?
Posed an interesting question.
I fucking hope not.
I mean, just for the nostalgia alone, I don't hate it. I mean, the match is going to be pure dog shit. But, I mean, there's meaning behind it. I know, and I can feel the meaning behind it.
I don't know. I don't know. I know
what it means for both of them.
Yeah, I get it. Like it's not lost on me what it means. Like that I'm not ignorant to that fact, but it's like
they get one more time around.
But oh, man, I don't know. I think it would make me not want to watch that match.
Nah, I'm still it would make me want to watch that match.
First of all, you already want to watch that match. We don't even know who his opponent is, so I don't want to hear that bullshit. Second of all,
I would not complain
now, like I want to watch that match. I want to watch Sting's last match for sure. If it's Flair, I'm checked out. I don't. Why? Why am I watching a 70-something-year-old Flair versus a 60-something-year-old Sting?
I just told you why.
It's not the same.
You didn't watch you weren't there in the moment.
I get the moment, but the moment has passed several times, and Nature Boy should not be in that fucking ring at all.
We're gonna have to come to a stalemate. We're gonna have to come to a stalemate because I'm gonna keep arguing the one point. You're gonna keep arguing your point. For those who were there and watched the last match on Nitro and watched it in real time, They know the ambiance behind that. It's a different feeling. If you weren't there watching it, you didn't care back then because you didn't care back then.
But was it like there's no enhancing that? There's no getting better than what that was. You're not getting that feeling back by a 70 fucking year old Ric Flair and a 63-year-old Sting.
But you're getting closure for both careers. Closure. Complete closure for both. They never step foot in the ring ever again.
And
ever.
You think Flair's not going to step foot in the ring ever again? How many last matches has Ric Flair had?
I think this is the one. Honestly, I think this is the one. He doesn't have anything else to come back to. He doesn't. Who else?
He was in the main event of WrestleMania with Shawn Michaels. And you think that wasn't tailor-made as a last match? Like, I mean, you don't get bigger. You don't get bigger. Revolution is not bigger than WrestleMania, the main event of WrestleMania with Mr. WrestleMania. Like, you don't get bigger. Like, I get Sting and I get the history. I get that. But, like...
Yeah, but you don't get it. It's closure for...
It's more Sting than him.
Yes, closure for Sting, closure for WCW fans. It's closure for NWA fans. It's closure for a lot. It's for the old people. Damn it! It's for my age
and older,
much older. But it's for us. It's not for you. It's not trying to take our thunder.
I fucking hope it doesn't happen. Honestly, I hope it's anyone but Flair. But Flair.
No, I wouldn't say anybody but Flair. It's got to make sense.
Well, okay. Let me rephrase that. I agree.
It could very well be Darby.
Yeah, it could be. And I would be just as disappointed as you said you would be if it was Darby. I get it. I would get the reasoning behind it. But I think, like we said, I like a heel turn from Edge better. And Edge versus Sting. Or a mystery person coming in versus Sting.
You know how pissed off I was when Triple H beat Sting?
Yeah.
Imagine how pissed off I'd be if Darby Allin beat Sting.
And you know it's going to happen.
Yeah.
You know it's going. He's going to go out. He's going to go out on his back. That's exactly how he's going to lose that match.
I mean, he should. I mean, you should build.
I mean, that's the way of the business. Absolutely. But the more we talk about it, the more I think it's going to be Darby. And there's just how deflated it is to me, not even being that big of a Sting fan. But, like, it's just, I don't see this guy being in wrestling in 5, 6, 7 years. I don't. I think his body's going to not because he's not popular, because his body is going to give out on him. I don't like. We had Woody on from Suplex Vintage Wrestling.
He's literally a crash test dummy.
I just don't get Darby, and he's what did he say? He was 38, right? I think.
I don't remember.
I want to say he was 38, and I don't know how he relates to Darby Allin. And I wanted to ask that question, but I wanted to let him speak, so I never really got a chance to ask it. But I wonder how a 38-year-old man relates to Darby Allin. Like, I just don't. I don't see it. I get how younger people do. I completely get that. I just don't see how a guy who's in his mid to late 30s would relate to a Darby Allin and want him to beat Sting. Basically,
this is the wrestler that, I mean, he honestly should have been around in the era of like CKY.
Mm-hmm.
And like, if he was a wrestler when Jackass was popular,
yeah, I agree.
He would be a fan favorite easily, and I would probably like him then.
I agree. Yeah,
but now,
absolutely.
No, now I don't. It's the same reason Jackass isn't the same. Still funny sometimes, but
yeah, but it's become more just dick jokes, which stops being funny after a while.
Yes. It's the
Uh,
only body they haven't destroyed yet.
So, I mean, I'm looking up and down. Like I said, like the only other one I'm kind of invested in, which surprises me a little bit, but surprised myself that I'm invested in it, is the Sheeta versus Tony Storm. Because, and I don't think we've talked a lot about Tony Storm on the show, because I know you haven't seen a lot of Tony Storm.
No.
This entire timeless gimmick is fucking amazing. It's so good. She is so entertaining. If you don't know what it is, it's basically her in a style of a Humphrey Bogart. It's all black and white. It's actually further back than Humphrey Bogart because she does silent films when they do the picture-in-picture. So they'll put.
Does she do any of the? Does she do any of the Marx Brothers?
No. I would love to know how many people get that reference. But when they go to picture-in-picture, they do a silent film, which is brilliant because you can't fucking hear what's going on in the match anyway. So now they're doing a silent film with her week after week, and she's wearing like the real tall fishnets with her trunks on and like this shawl over her shoulder, and she's this timeless movie star, but it's all in black and white, and it feels old. It feels Charlie Chaplin. Like, it's really fucking good. And she's like, it looks, and you can tell she's comfortable. She found her niche, and this character is amazing. So like now I'm so sucked into the character.
Did Charlie Chaplin, is his brother Assless Chaplin?
Oh my God. You are fucking terrible. I get you're not invested in some of these, but like, can we stick down the same fucking road, please? Just a little bit.
Now, in the how many years now that you've known me? When do I ever stay down this? I am usually, you can start here. I've gone this way, I've gone this way, I've gone that way, I've gone this way, I've gone any way but this way.
I know.
This should not surprise you.
I'm not surprised. I'm not. That is the no. That no. This is.
I have no restraint.
No.
I'm a peacock. You gotta let me fly.
I typically do. I mean, if anyone listens to this show, I don't stop you at all. Which, by the way,
I'm the Tasmanian devil.
I just realized looking through our catalog that December like 17th 17th or 18th is 6 years we've been doing this show.
2017, right?
Yeah. And it's so one month
Did
is
the microphone pick up that fart?
What fart? No. What? What the hell are you talking about?
I just farted. I didn't know if the mic picked it up.
No. No. You're on a tablet, man. Like, it's not that sensitive. Now, if you were
as we speak, on the TV is Tony Storm, and it's in black and white.
There you go.
It's more of a Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah, there you go. That's yeah, exactly. Yeah, she looks great. You know,
She's got a butler.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So just for her storyline alone, I'll be invested in that match. But,
She's the champion again? Sheeta's the champion?
Yes.
Jesus, what is she, like a 5-time champion? She's trying to put up Charlotte Flair numbers?
That's one good thing I do like about the AEW women's title. They haven't been afraid to pass it around.
So that means Paige lost it, right?
Yeah. It's her it is her third reign, by the way.
Oh, all right. So I downplayed it a little bit.
But I mean, Yeah, I like that. I like that it moves around a little bit. WWE is kind of stagnant with their women's titles, although they have the best women holding the titles as of right now. But it's still the
All
one.
right. Is now a good segue
Go ahead.
To go cross promotion?
Yeah.
So I was watching Damage Control, and that faction kicks some fucking ass.
Just setting up for that women's War Games match.
Yeah, but that's a good faction. I don't want to see them break up.
Oh, it's incredible. Incredible. How, I mean,
it's Asuka now,
Asuka,
Kairi Sane, Io Sky, Bailey, and Dakota Kai, right?
Yep.
It's a good faction.
So I'm trying to think. It's probably going to be Bianca, Charlotte,
Shotzi,
Becky.
maybe.
I'm trying to think another babyface to go with that team, a fifth member.
But I don't think it matters. Like, the faction should win. The baby faces shouldn't go over that faction. They should win. That's almost why I think Judgment Day is going to win.
Judgment Day and Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, I mean, they needed a fifth, so it makes sense, or kind of makes sense. It makes it interesting, to say the least. But, I mean, I feel like they should go over. You know, it'd be crazy if Priest cashes in on Rollins during the match. Like, why could he should, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, everyone's going to be beating the fuck down.
Yeah, you could do it.
And he's already proclaimed himself the leader.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty good, by the way.
Really,
he's proven himself. He's proven himself. He can hold it. He can hold that title now. They can pull the trigger on him.
I agree. I wouldn't have said so like 3-4 months ago, but now I think he's developed.
I think he's ready. I think he's ready for it. I think they gave him enough time. I think, dude, that makes everyone's going to have the shit beat out of them unless the faces win. But there's so much.
Who's your fifth man for the faces? You got Cody, Jay, Sammy, Seth. Do you do KO, or I mean, do you think that Randy Orton is coming back?
I mean, the Pops and Orton coming back. I don't know, but what does that leave KO to do? Isn't he feuding with what's his name now?
Austin Theory and Grayson Waller.
Yeah.
He
can hang with those guys. That's fun. Grayson Waller and KO. That's a
KO just got suspended.
Yeah, so it's not going to be KO.
Nah, unless he's only suspended for SmackDown for this week. I don't know.
I think Orton. I think Orton's the bet.
So that might be an all-time great Survivor Series team.
Are you about to segue somewhere else?
I think so, because you look at a Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, Seth Rollins. The talent on that fucking team is huge for this roster.
How over individually they all are.
Yeah.
Like, they're all very, very over. I mean, Orton's always going to be over. Orton can come back and do anything if he invested in. That's how good he is.
Yeah.
And I'm not ready to see him go yet.
If he still has stuff in the tank, I agree.
He's just so good at elevating everybody around him. He's so good at that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he could take anybody under his wing and make them better. Like, instantaneously. Like, all they have to do is listen to him, do what he says, and just go. Like, Orton's that good.
Yeah, John Cena called him the Shawn Michaels of our era.
The workhorse?
The guy that
showstopper?
just in the ring makes everything look easy, that no matter what, he doesn't have a bad match. He's a ring general, just everything that Shawn Michaels was for the attitude and ruthless aggression Randy Orton was going forward. I agree with that. I mean, you can plug him anywhere and with anybody, and it works all the time.
Yeah, man. I mean, when he sinks his teeth into a feud, and it's not few and far between because it seems like he does it for almost anything that he does.
Yeah.
Like him and AJ, that was great.
Mm-hmm.
Or some would say phenomenal. But anything he does, he took Riddle and made him relevant.
Yeah. I mean, and it worked. It got over. RK Bro, which I never thought was actually going to work, actually did work. So, I mean, yeah, he can do anything. Absolutely anything. So I want to do, like you said, I want to segue into some of the best Survivor Series teams. I want to get your opinion on maybe who's your favorite of all time. Who's your favorite, if you can remember what, as far as Survivor Series teams go? Would you want me to list some of them and maybe one of them is your favorite? Whatever you want to
do. So Survivor Series of the Big Four was always my last of the Big Four. Like I'm Royal Rumble all the way. Then Mania. Then SummerSlam.
It's 3 for me, not 4. It's 3. I think that's better than SummerSlam for the most part.
Yeah. I mean, there's been a lot of times where it hasn't been, though. Like all those goofy teams they used to put together back in the day, like in the 80s and early 90s. Like, I don't think any of those teams were the best teams. I'm trying to think of a really good Survivor Series team. So I'll throw a caveat out there. I liked Team Cena when Sting came out and saved them.
Okay.
That was one of my favorite Survivor Series.
Okay. I'll take that.
You rally off some teams, and I'll tell you.
So this is a top 10 list by Bleacher Report that I got that I wanted to look at, and it goes 10-1. Okay, so we got the Ultimate Warriors from 1989, and that's one of my favorite Survivor Series teams of all time. And not only that, because of the promo they cut before their match.
That was Warrior, the Rockers, and Jim the Anvil.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. The promo, for those who know what I'm talking about, is Warrior fucking epic. Yes. He takes the wrist tape and he starts wrapping him around, and he nearly fucking chokes Shawn Michaels. You can see him trying to get out during the promo and not break. Like, it's fucking hilarious, but it's so good. So they're number 10. I love that pick. Number 9 is Andre's team as an Andre the Giant in 87. We got Rick Rude, Andre the Giant, King Kong Bundy, One Man Gang, and the Natural Butch Reed. It's a pretty solid team.
Those 80s teams are just so fucking bizarre.
I'll give you a more recent one. Well, somewhat more recent. 2005, Team SmackDown. JBL, Lashley, Batista, Orton, Mysterio.
Yeah.
Pretty solid.
I mean, that's a good team. Who did they face? Who was Team Raw?
Who was Team Raw? I can tell you that. Hold on.
05, was it Triple H, Michaels, Cena?
Where are we at here? It was Chris Masters, Kane, Big Show, Carlito, and Shawn Michaels.
God, poor Shawn Michaels. Jesus.
I know. Yeah, I know.
SmackDown wiped them.
Yeah. Okay.
Michaels didn't stay in place on that team.
No. Next, Team Authority. And this is the one you were talking about.
Yeah.
Kane, Mark Henry, Luke Harper, Seth Rollins, and Rusev. That's a hell of a fucking team, too. And the only way they didn't win was, well, because of Sting. So they bring back the Icon to beat this team.
Well, it had to be done.
And the next one, we have Team DX, which makes an appearance in our intro in the very beginning. And that's Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy, and CM Punk. And it's in Philadelphia for that Survivor Series in 2006.
I remember that one.
That is a pretty good team, though. Hardy Boys, DX, and CM Punk. That's a pretty solid team. So we have fourth.
What did that CM Punk ever end up doing?
Yeah, I don't know. It kind of ended there, didn't it?
That was pretty much his last hurrah.
Number 4 is the Warriors from 1990.
Is that Hawk Animal?
Keep going.
Is it the Steiners?
No.
Hawk Animal. Keep going. Give me the rest.
Hawk Animal, the Ultimate Warrior, and someone known as the Texas Tornado.
That is a good team. I do remember that team now. I love the Road Warriors, though. They were the best. Besides the Steiners. I think I like the Steiners a little bit more.
Than the Road Warriors? Really? We're talking original iteration of the Steiners. Not talking like Big Papa Pump.
I'm talking the Frankensteiner.
Yeah.
The Bulldog. Yeah, I'm talking the flashy singlet Steiners. And the wrestling.
Out of the two, I gotta pick LOD. Like they're just.
Is it the shoulder pads?
It's the shoulder pads. It's as a kid, how could you not love? Yeah, like it's just. Yeah.
Like I said, it's tough. It is
tough. It's tough. Number 4.
Doomsday Device was probably one of the coolest tag team moves ever.
Ever. It's hard to beat it.
How many times did you do that in the pool growing up?
Oh, countless. Absolutely countless.
Jumping off the deck.
It's up there. It's up there with just a suplex. Like, how many suplexes did you do into a pool? Like, you know what I mean? Like, suplexes were like the go-to wrestling move in a pool, but like the Doomsday Device was up there. Like it was.
It was so easy.
Yeah. Oh my god, it was easy. And then like if you had someone playing chicken, and like you could sneak up on them, have them turn around, it's easy.
It's a Doomsday Device out of nowhere.
Number 4, 1989, the Hulkamaniacs, and it's Demolition, Jake the Snake, and Hulk Hogan.
Demolition, Jake the Snake, and Hulk Hogan. Jeez.
Yes, yeah. Were you saying about the 80s and those weird matchups? There you go, right there. Let's see. Number 3, Team Raw from 2017. Triple H, Kurt Angle, Braun Strowman, Finn Balor, and Samoa Joe.
Yeah, vaguely remember that, and I vaguely remember Angle not. Oh wait, is that the one where Triple H turned on him?
Let's see. Yes. Yep. Yeah, because on the other side was Shane, Orton, Cena, Nakamura, and Bobby Roode. 'Cause, 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 'cause And that's when, he changed because of Shane being on the other team. He turned on Angle. Number 2, the All-Americans in 1993.
It's definitely not Bret Hart.
Definitely not Bret Hart. Any guesses?
93, the All Americans. Luger?
Yeah. Yes.
All Americans.
I guarantee. I think you can get 3, but I don't think you can get the 4th one because it stunned me because I didn't remember this team, and I do, when I hear. Go ahead.
Hacksaw?
No. A tag team.
The Rockers?
No.
The Nasty Boys?
No. The Steiners.
The Steiners.
And then the 4th member, which I don't think you would ever get when you heard for 93, you hear the All-Americans, was The Undertaker.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, exactly. Did not see that coming.
No. Dude, those fucking 80s and early 90s, man, I'll tell you.
So the number 1 best Survivor Series team, according to Barstool, is...
I thought it was Bleacher.
Or Bleacher, I'm sorry. Bleacher. Yep, my bad. Is Team WWE from 2001. And that's The Rock, Jericho, Big Show, Taker, and Kane.
Yeah.
And this was
definitely.
The invasion where it was WCW,
Definitely.
ECW versus WWE.
Yeah, that's an easy one.
Is it though? Because if you look at who they fought, I mean, I agree. They're definitely the better
Just
team.
the team alone.
And it's only because Shane McMahon's on the other team that kind of throws it all the balance off. But you have Austin, Booker T, RVD, and Kurt Angle. Like, if you have anyone else in there aside from fucking Shane McMahon, that's a pretty good matchup.
They should have had Raven. They should have had DDP.
Yeah, I agree. That would have been solid. But Shane being in there ruins it. But I mean,
you don't want to go coast to coast?
No, because you have the originator of that fucking move on that team already.
Yes, that's true. The better of the two.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, that's a pretty good list.
Give me the top 3 worst.
Top 3 worst. Okay. So same thing from Bleacher Report. Let's go to the top 3 worst Survivor Series teams.
Just to end on a negative.
First of all, I'm going to go 4 just because I want to get this team in. Number 4. No. And that's one of my favorite. I love that Survivor Series. But number 4 is the Mean Street Posse and the British Bulldog.
Poor British Bulldog, man. He got fed some bullshit with that one.
Okay, so number 3 worst of all time, the Head Shrinkers, Samu and Fatu, a.k.a. Rikishi, Bastion Booger, and Bam Bam Bigelow in 1993.
Man,
that was the Doink match. Was the Bushwhacker Doink, King Mabel Doink. Who else was a Doink? Both Bushwhackers, King Mabel, I think Mo, which was Mabel's manager, right?
Yeah.
I think all of them were Doinks. And it was against this team of Bastion Booger, the Head Shrinkers, and Bam Bam Bigelow, and Luna Vachon was outside the ring.
Yeah, that's pretty terrible.
Mm-hmm. Men on a Mission. That was Mabel and Mo. That was the tag team. Number 2.
Purple and Gold. They were big fans.
Chains, 8 Ball, and Skull, and the Disciples of Apocalypse.
Yeah, like the worst members of the DOA.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you have Bradshaw and Farouk in there too. They should have just used them. They're better.
So number one, which I know you're gonna pop for, this is the whole reason I looked up the worst ones because I couldn't wait for your reaction. Number one from 1991 is Colonel Mustafa.
Oh God,
aka the Iron Sheik, the Berserker, Skinner, and and Hercules.
Oh God. Oh man.
It truly is the worst Survivor Series team of all time.
God. There's some good gimmicks in there.
I was looking up other ones. They have number 7 as the Spirit Squad.
Oh, poor Mikey. Poor Mikey and Kenny.
Here's a weird one, just for it's number 9 on the list. Marty Jannetty, Hakushi, Barry Horowitz, and Bob Holly.
How did that team not hit number 1?
I don't know. That should definitely be higher ranked.
That is a terrible team.
Yeah.
Dude, Bam Bam and the Head Shrinkers is better than that team.
Yeah. Yeah.
By a lot.
Yes.
By like a lot.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck? That team's garbage. My God. That was when he was spark plugged Bob Holly.
Yes. Yeah.
With a race car fucking pattern on his leg or some shit.
Yep.
That's what hair. Wait, rally off that team one more time so I can hear that fucking garbage.
Marty Jannetty, Hakushi, Barry Horowitz, and Bob Holly.
My God. Barry Horowitz, the guy who used to pat himself on the back.
Yes, the picture is him going like this.
Yeah. What the fuck? That team was awful. I think we got to re-rank these. That team was pitiful.
You think they would be one?
That team could beat any team on the wait, what was the number 1 worst team? The Berserker.
The Berserker, Hercules.
Iron Sheik.
Well, Mustafa, not really the Iron Sheik, but yes. And Skinner.
Oh man, I don't know. This is pretty fucking bad.
See, because these are more gimmicks. That's the thing. Like these are gimmicks where they're just bad. You mean wrestler? Wait, Bob Holly is not a bad wrestler, but like
no, none of them were bad wrestlers to say, but they were like that's like low tier mid card. I mean, they're both low tier mid card, but at least you got the Iron Sheik on one.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think you got a 1 and 1A duking it out to see who's worse. I mean, Skinner really drags that team down.
That's true.
What the Berserker did to lift it up, Skinner drug it right the fuck back down.
The last one I'll tell you, just because they're so obscure, I think that's the more fun part about this. The Body Donnas.
Oh yeah.
Rad Radford. I don't remember Rad Radford. And the 1, 2, 3 Kid.
I don't hate that team. I love the Body Donnas. They were great.
Yeah, I mean,
that was
talk about yes, yeah, that was where Sonny came from, the Body Donnas. Yeah, they're definitely not as bad as the other two. Yeah, let's not go that far with her. Well,
they're nothing like the Beverly Hills, though.
No, no, not at all. Not even close.
Those blonde and those moon print fucking capes, they had it all.
Have you seen, by the way, the trailer for Iron Claw?
Yes, I'm very excited. I'm taking my dad to go see it. If you'd like to join.
When's this? When's it come out?
22nd. December 22nd it comes out in select theaters.
Okay. So are you going opening night?
It depends. If it's a Friday, maybe.
It is a Friday.
Yeah, maybe pick him up. Well, that's the fuck was that?
What was what?
I lost your voice. Say something.
Something.
Yeah, I can't hear you.
Are you serious?
Something just happened.
I can hear you fine.
Yeah, I don't know. I think this is where we got to call it a day.
All right. we'll we'll talk more about the movie later. Thank you.
Talk about silent film. This is what I got going on right now.
Damn it! Only if I couldn't
me?
hear your voice. That
Yeah,
would be the ultimate. This is great. I can say anything I want.
Put the Bob in the Bob Shabob Shabob.
I can say anything I want about Joe right now, and he would never
Ramalama
know at all what I'm saying. Too bad I can hear him.
Buffet, That's what I'm getting.
Wait.
Oh,